It ain't got no sense of direction. You see what you see. What you see is what you want to be.
Slow down, sonny boy, yo, check out the rhythm. I'm busting up chops, I'm untouchable, and then some. I ain't through with the flow, I'm breaking the bucking rappers who don't think so. It's bigger and better things for me to invest in. Before I waste my time, I blow a hole in that chest, kid. That's just the start, and there ain't no ending. Pick up the pieces. I got introduced to hip hop one day when I was sitting in my mom's car writing poetry, and my next door neighbor, he asked me what I was doing. And I was like, oh, I'm writing poetry. He said, let me see what you're doing. So I showed it to him, and he was like, this ain't nothing but rap. You can be a rapper. You can rap. And I was like, really? And it went off from there. And he asked me to do a diss track for him for somebody, and I did it, and it just took off from there. And I just started writing, honing my skills, just building. And shortly, because a lot of females wasn't doing it, I got notoriety for it because I was just as good as the guys doing it. And so I was sought out by a few people, and I was always battle rapping, always doing talent shows, always doing something with rapping. So I had a little crew, I had a DJ, I had dancers, and then I moved on to Timberland Foundation, and you know, that was history from there. And I was doing hip hop because I loved it. I fell in love with it. It was everything I lived and breathed for at the time. And I'm still in love with it. A lot of the stuff that's going on now is for this day and time, but I'm still in love with the old school hip hop, old school all the way. That ain't never gonna change. Oh man, RUR, ITR, they influenced us every night after skating. We leave Skate Town, USA, go home, listen to rap music till 4 in the morning. It's the only people doing it, only stations doing it, and it was motivation. It gave me a lot of inspiration to keep going with what I was doing. Man, it was everything. We waited for that all week long. We waited for that. To go skating on Saturday night, come home, turn on the radio, make our little mixtapes so we could listen to them. Me and my cousin used to make our little dance steps from them. What we was going to do the next week at skating. And that's what we did. Staying up all night, sleep till noon because we've been up to 4 o'clock in the morning listening to Raj and Rhythm X and Emmy and anybody who was on the station. Opening for KRS-One and The Real Roxanne at the Renaissance on Liberty Pole Way downtown. I got to meet one of the people that I idolized. KRS-One, man, he was there in the flesh. That was the best memory of my life. I didn't actually get to meet Real Roxanne, but I saw her. She was outside in the taxi getting ready to come in. But I opened the show for them. That was December 30th, 1988. I'll never forget it. That was the best memory of my life. The worst memory of my life was when my DJ left and moved to Irvington, Texas. You be in the mix. He left and went to Texas. He was trying to get me to come down there to go to college, but I had already started here, and I didn't want to leave. So that kind of broke up my motivation because I didn't have my DJ here no more. So we wasn't doing shows and we wasn't doing things that we had been doing, which I could have been doing if I went to Texas, but I wasn't ready to go to Texas. So my advice to females today that's doing hip hop: stay true to yourself. Don't sell yourself short. If you don't want to sell sex, you don't have to. You can do this how you want to do it. Let it work for you. Don't work for it. Don't let anybody make you go down the wrong path because they trying to make money. You make it work for you. Make it beneficial to you. That would be my advice. Do what you want to do, how you want to do it. Don't let anybody tell you what you can and can't do, where you can and cannot go where hip hop is concerned, because it's a vast area. You can go all places with this. It's that big.
So I would say that hip hop has always been a major factor in my life ever since I was a young girl. My parents were very about music when I was growing up, and we used to go to the Highland Bowl here for the concerts. And I remember that was my first experiences in seeing like black musicians and live bands and all kinds of music. There wasn't a lot of hip hop back then. Um, but I remember my father always embracing all kinds of music. My brothers were very into hip hop. They're older than I am. I can remember my first hip hop concert, which was the first concert I ever went to, and that was a freshman. And I was a very young girl, and I was only allowed to go to this concert if my brothers went. And that was the first concert I ever went to, and I think I was age 12, about to be 13. So my second concert was Prince, and I never forgot the Fresh Fest. And I knew then it was like, okay, this is what we do. We gather, we listen to our music, we get down, and it's like no problems. So that stayed with me. And also the concert bug hit me, because after that it was on. I went to every hip-hop concert that came to Rochester. I was a Henrietta girl. I would come to the city to visit my cousins for the weekend. We'd walk to the War Memorial from Plymouth Avenue. So I was definitely about it. You get your fresh outfit from All Day Sunday, and you make sure, your letters were crisp on your shirt and your kicks were crisp. That never has stopped with us. And then you just walk with all your peoples to the War Memorial to see some dope concerts. Growing up here, we had one radio station, but we had others. We had one mainstream. I focused a lot on listening to ITR, WITR, and WRUR, because they played the hip-hop that you didn't get to hear on the radio. We didn't have videos back then. We didn't have the MTV. When I was young, we didn't even have the box that everybody remembers so much. We had nothing. So what you did is you listened with your tape recorder and you pressed the button to record it off the radio, and you hurried up before they said the station name because you didn't want that part, and you tried to make your own mixtape. So ITR and RUR for me would play, like, I remember distinctly my love for Guru came from listening to those two stations. I remember only being able to hear maybe a little Jazzmatazz on the other station. But if I wanted to hear all of Guru, I listened to WITR or WRUR. We talked about the word underground, and I thought of it as that. It's where I wanted to go to listen to not just, I guess you could say, grimier hip-hop, grimier, more organic, that I didn't, I definitely bopped my head to Parents Just Don't Understand. It was super commercial and funny, and, but I wanted to hear other things. Like, that whole Guru catalog sticks with me. I remember meeting him at a party at U of I. It was either U of I or RIT. I went to many parties there. But that probably would not have been possible without the radio stations. I remember listening late at night. When does it come on? And sometimes the times would be a little funky, and you had to find out, or somebody call you and be like, yo, they're listening. They're playing music right now, and you had to hurry up and get your tape recorder ready. So you can record Chris's show, listen to him and Ev go back and forth. And it was like, you wanted to know them, I guess, because they sounded so witty and they were just like regular guys that from around the way that you knew. It wasn't that like humble radio DJ thing where you're like, oh, the DJ from this station, no, that's Chris, that's Ev, and that's what it was. I really enjoyed like their banter, which we still see today because we're all still friends. But it really helped to like center hip hop, I would say, especially in Rochester. There was a whole core of us that, when I say a whole core, a huge core of us that really wanted authenticity in our hip hop, and we couldn't find it in mainstream radio. It's not to say we didn't listen to it, because everyone listened to mainstream radio because you listen to what you have. But you definitely longed for those 2, 3, 4 hour segments of ITR or RUR, so you can listen to the show. And you can really get into the depth of hip hop. And that's what it was for me. I would say throughout the years, I remember when they went off the air, and they went on to do other things, and it was like, oh man, you had a void. People would try to kind of fill that void at the radio stations, and I had great faith in the college students that were coming up, that they would continue the path. But it's definitely not like it used to be. So now, we're all grown, we're all adults. I still love hip hop. I still love underground, organic hip hop. I'm a little different than a lot of my peers. I embrace a lot of hip hop that a lot of my peers won't embrace today. This new hip hop that everybody likes to attach the word mumble to. For me, some of it is trash, yes. But some of it's not. And I also know how to embrace change. So for me, it's like I like to listen to all music, and I don't have a problem with giving my opinion on it. Right now, doing radio shows around Rochester, I've been super happy with Rochester and the way we've been on the hip-hop scene. With every scene, there comes little turmoil and little back and forth between people. We have growing pains, but we have local rappers. We have local producers and DJs. We have a ton of local indie radio shows. We never had that when I was growing up. We have it now as adults. So I love that we're all embracing each other and we all come together. We have a huge scene for battle rap in Rochester. One thing that I would love is battle rap and local rappers and producers. The scene to just kind of come together as one. For some reason, it seems to be like battle rap's over here, regular hip hop is over here. What's regular hip hop? I don't know, but that's over here. I'm like, isn't the culture one and the same? So I hope that as we grow, that becomes one. Because without the hip hop, period, where would battle rap come from? So for me, I feel like hip hop is instilled in my life. I'm wearing hometown DJ shirt, DJ E's, who I love. I rock his shirt all the time. I try to support most of my friends in hip hop in Rochester. I think that the importance of hip hop gets lost along the way of who's better, who's the GOAT. There's 5 million GOATs in my lifetime. I get asked the question a lot. Who's your top 5? It changes all the time. It changes all the time for me. It depends on my mood. So it's hard for me to give that. I feel like I get asked that also a lot because I'm a woman. And we could touch on that a little bit too. I love women in hip hop. There's not enough of us. For me, I feel like a lot of times that I think that I get stuck in a conversation about hip hop with people because I am a woman. It's as if my opinion can't be valid, or I don't know what I'm talking about, which is not true. I have ears and I listen to music just like everyone else, and I actually process it, and I listen to words. I love words. So I listen to everything, which is why I can listen to newer music today and find the good music. I think that women get categorized in hip-hop. We have to be shaking our ass. or we gotta be like extra hardcore. And I'm like, there's all kinds of in-betweens that we fail to recognize. In my car right now, I was listening to the City Girls, Where the Bag At? But I listened to Rhapsody's whole CD this morning, or whole album this morning while I was cleaning my house. I can listen to both. There's room for both. I think we get squashed amidst the battle for the GOAT for men in hip hop. The whole Nicki Cardi fight is insane to me. It's insane because there's room for both of them. And we as fans and part of the culture, we pretend that there isn't. There's so many male MCs that are all number one. You love Jay-Z, you love Jada, you love Fab, you love all these people that are out there right now, right? Name one woman that we've been talking about in the last 2 weeks in hip-hop. Cardi, Nicki. Anyone else? There's so many others, and we just get squashed underneath the weight of the battle that the men are having for GOAT. So that's one thing that I hope to see evolve as well. On the local scene, I think that that's also a factor. There's lots of local MCs that are women in this town that are doing their thing, that are grinding and working really hard. And I feel like sometimes that they get diminished among all of the men here as well. I'd like to see more women in battle rap as well. So that's something that I hope to help with it going forward also. I think that our minds need to expand a little bit more in regards as to who we open up for in hip-hop, who we support, and why is it okay for one to be on the top and the other not to be? There's room for all of us. So hip-hop for me is just a lifestyle, definitely a lifestyle. Is that culture that's part of me, I feel, as a black woman. It's something that I've always had in my head. I remember one of my best memories is my father driving me and a group of my friends to see LL Cool J at the Auditorium Theater on East Main Street. And he had a Lincoln Town car, and there was a whole gang of us in the car. And he said, and the radio station was playing all his music. My dad said, "What is a LL Cool J?" And I was like, "He's a rapper, Daddy." I remember this just like it was yesterday. He was like, "Y'all will listen to anything." But he was so cool when he picked us up from the concert, which didn't happen, by the way. And it didn't happen. This is a funny story. Because at the time, MC Shan and LL were having a little battle, a little beef with each other. MC Shan just came out on stage and started talking all kinds of junk to LL, and LL refused to come out. He refused. Him, Shan, and Roxanne Shante were on the stage calling him out, all kinds of names, just dragged. He refused to come on stage. I'll never forget that story. So my dad picks us up, and this man had went and listened to all of LL Cool J and was reciting all the rhymes to me and everything. So I never forgot that day because I remember my father embracing that music, even though he was an older man and couldn't really relate. I tell that story because I really want my peers to do the same thing. We're getting older, and we have to remember that things change and things evolve. You don't have to like everything. You just have to learn that, somebody does. So for me, I'm in love with hip-hop. I didn't used to love her. I still do. I do think of hip-hop as a female, as a woman, because it's ever-changing and always embracing new things. I think that's more of a woman's side to me than a male, even though it seems super male-dominated. But if you think about my point, it's very valid. But that's what it is for me. I love hip-hop. I feel like I'm drowning in it, but I'm okay with that. I know how to swim.
Sometimes you gotta lose what you really need. I had to go without, I had to let it breathe. Was feeling that your presence I ain't really need. Do your Googles. We down the Dutchess, let the Remy or the Henny spill. God bless the beats, let me tell you how I really feel. Born in the metropolis, circle in the crack drop. Family in the business, on a couple back blocks, same old story. Pops had a short run, beef got crazy, seen them both with a black gun. Promise I would leave them, hit the streets. As a little kid, I always had to hustle, Esco. Saw the shit I did, now that I got older, little wiser, a lot of time in. Realized I was tripping, never slipping was the grinding. Snitching was a pimping. If you spitting, better beat bars. If you pay attention, did I mention these are y'all stars? But real niggas try to hide scars. Y'all popping stitches to the side arm. I speak clearly in divine God. And put it all together like a mark God. Life lessons got me this far. Those that are gone tend to miss them in my new car. Roof gone, so I see stars. Give thanks for my sight and this weed draw. Stress all coming. Some niggas started running. Some niggas started stunning. Some niggas started dumping. My cuz was the plug, so you know I started pumping. Through 12 in these raps, I would do a little something. Look, my niggas in the war room, planning on the way out. I'm going through my thoughts with some paper, got a new route. I see them in passing, they eyes show passion. Struggling for ration, so I twist, try and match.